Hello, my friends, my biohacking explorers. I'm wanting to talk about something very special and that I like a lot, which is breath work. It's the sixth fundamental for the perfect health, and it's one of my favorites just because of how easy it is actually to just do it anywhere. Think about it for cold therapy, hot therapy, working strength training. You cannot do it anywhere at any time. But breath work, you can literally do it. I mean, maybe not while you're driving, that wouldn't be the best idea, but any other time you can actually do it, even when you're making love with your loved one. And haha, breathing. My goodness, there are so many different techniques you can put in practice. They say that there are studies that say that we breathe 22,000 times per day, and there are just as many techniques. There are another close to 22,000. So you have a whole world to explore. There is breathing for anything you can think of. Actually, you use breath work for total opposite things. Me, for instance, I use breath work to activate my body before I do my workouts, but I do also use breath work before I go to sleep to have a better sleep. I do breath work while I walk for a more like of a Buteyko pulmonar kind of reinforcing breathing. What is that? I explain you. There is this guy. He was a Russian physician, a Russian doctor called Buteyko. At some point, they actually kicked him out of the medical practice because he was not practicing the traditional kind of medicine, but it's proven to help a lot. Like later on I'm going to show you some tests, and you will literally feel like your nose is more open after doing this kind of breath work exercise, and you have more capacity in in your lungs. So it does actually work, and it did work. Maybe these guys didn't like Buteyko because he was going against the current. But that is not. We're not gonna get too much into that because that's more like politics, and we're just gonna realize that breath is something that we can literally use to improve our health and to improve our life. So I encourage you to just practice 5 minutes in the beginning of the day, 5 minutes in the end of the day, and like an activating kind of breathing in the morning, and a calming one in the night. As an example of a calming kind of breath work, you can literally it's a very famous kind of breathing technique which is called the box breathing. Why is it box? Because it's like a box, right? Like you literally take the air for 4 seconds, you hold the air for 4 seconds, you release the air for 4 seconds, and then you hold again for 4 seconds, and it's a whole cycle that you repeat again and again. You can do it 10 times before you go to sleep, and I guarantee you will feel more calm. Just finishing about Buteyko, because I forgot to explain what the technique is. I can imagine how many of you are just like, oh my goodness, why did they kick him out of medical school? Again, that we'll get into that later on, but today it's actually something you can use to have more capacity in your lungs, and it does work. So you literally hold your breath, and then you try to take as many steps as possible. You do that while you walk. That's when I do it anyway. And you're walking outside with your loved one or just alone, and you keep the air, and you try to take as many steps as possible. Once you've done that, you recover the air, but you do it in a normal way, because the first thing you want to do is quickly breathe because you're out of air. You have to go against that reflex and just relax, and very normally and quietly refine your breath rhythm. And once you've recovered it for a minute or a minute and a half, you repeat the exercise, and you do take as many steps as you can. Guys, I guarantee you, if you practice that every day for 2 times or 3 times a day, by the end of the week you're gonna take twice as many steps. And if you keep on practicing it, you can go to you can literally impress yourself by what's your real capacity. and I encourage you to try that. That's a very whoa that you say it's crazy. So try it out, guys. Very simple technique, and you will love it. See you later.